Right, last topic. We'll make it a quick one this week. Um, I'm going to make it very clear here now. NFC West battle Thursday night football. So again, if you're listening to this on the Friday, apologies, but it is pre-recorded. Seahawks 7-6, Niners are 9-4. Brock Purdy mania in San Francisco. The big question here is, can Brock Purdy play on the road? The guy played for Iowa in college. He clearly can. But it's a fair point to make. Can they, Mark, sustain their performance on the road? That's the question. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. For me, I have the Niners winning on Thursday night, and I've got the Niners winning the NFC West. And frankly, they should. Well, they're probably going to try and get as many wins as they can, of course, but they should genuinely look at Week 17 and Week 18 and resting Christian McCaffrey and resting as many players as they can and be smart about it, because they're going to need those guys down the stretch. And it looks as if Debo could be back for the playoffs. But for the Niners, who lost Trey Lance, have lost Jimmy Garoppolo, and now have Purdy mania and Brock Purdy, they're not in the bad spot, are they?
No, I feel like this is a bonus. This is what you get for listening on the Thursday. You get this, and it's still exciting to listen to. No, when it comes to the 49ers, I absolutely love the 49ers. I think they will give the Eagles an absolute run for their money when it comes to the playoffs. I hope we get that matchup in the NFC Championship game. I think that would be an absolute belter. That's there with Bills, Chiefs, or Chiefs, Bengals, whatever combination you want. But when it comes to Brock Purdy, look, the other day was fantastic. I just said that what Baker Mayfield did was fantastic and fun, but we need to see it again. I think we will see it again with Brock Purdy. But when you talk about the storyline of, oh yeah, is he a franchise guy after one? What happened with David Blau with the Detroit Lions there a number of years ago, 3 years ago on Thanksgiving, that David Blau came out and made himself a legend for a night. We have to see more. If you're talking about the future, there's no point after one game, after 60 minutes of football against the Tampa Bay team in week 15. Yeah, let's see it as they go down the stretch. I do think they win the division. Obviously, this is an important game against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks can still win the division. I don't think that they're firing at all cylinders anymore. But I did mention last week about a graphic that I was going to put out. I went and looked into it. I did see that Kyle Shanahan has had 19 quarterback changes at different times over the last 6 seasons in charge. And it does go to show that Kyle Shanahan's system is built for Brock Purdy. So I think that he will continue to look good. But I think it also, a lot of the credit has to be going to Kyle Shanahan and that offense playing lights out at the moment. And the defense, give me a break.
Michaela, as a Broncos fan, I watched the Super Bowl in week 1 this season whenever the Seahawks... I'm not. And I actually told the head of marketing in Munich about this. I was raging at the way that they prepared for that game and the fans. I think it needs to be that similar sort of atmosphere on Thursday night. And I guess if I put the Seahawks in your head here, because we haven't mentioned them, and it wouldn't be right not to, doubt Geno Smith at your peril. This is a huge game for them. If they can beat the Niners on Thursday night, then they were within one game. It sets up a huge last 3 weeks, and frankly, it would make the division more exciting, to be fair. So it's going to be a good game on Thursday night.
Yeah, it is going to be a good game on Thursday night. I think the 49ers are going to run away with the NFC West at this point, even with Brock Purdy in at quarterback. I just think their defense is too good, and all the other guys are just stepping up at the right time. McCaffrey, thank God, isn't getting injured like he was in the last few years of the Panthers, and they are relying on him. You saw his performance in the last game against the Dolphins, not the Dolphins, the Buccaneers. They heavily relied on McCaffrey. And Brock Purdy played really well. He got 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 rushing touchdown against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Even though they're not playing well, it's still Tom Brady for him. I think he's the first starting quarterback to beat Tom Brady in his first career start or something like that. So I do agree with Mark that we have to relax a little bit on the Brock Purdy train and the hype, because I didn't realize this. He had already played this season against the Chiefs, and he threw an interception. He didn't play that well. I don't know how long he played for, but he still played. He still threw an interception. But it's the Chiefs, we'll let him away with it because he's played so well the last 2 games. I'm more interested in the quarterback carousel that's going to be going on in San Francisco in the offseason, because Jimmy G's going to be coming back, the Trey Lance is going to be coming back, and Brock Purdy. And if Brock Purdy balls out and he's amazing in the last few run of games, and say they get to the NFC Championship and they get dumped out by the Eagles, which is probably
what if he wins the Super Bowl?
If he wins the Super Bowl, he has to be their starting quarterback, and then that's just a bit of a headache, because the 49ers wasted a third pick in the first round on Trey Lance. But I'm more excited to see what's going to go on there because if Purdy plays well, then it is a nightmare for San Francisco to see who they're going to go with.
Let's re-check this one. I think Trey Lance is done in San Francisco.
Yeah, well, I'll bring back because there was a bit of Brock Purdy slander, and we were enjoying him. The starters were benched in beginning of the start of the season, whenever it was.
Brock Purdy slander.
They were, the starters were benched, and he got 9 snaps, 4 of them were completed. So to speak to what Michaela was saying, he had a stinker back then. So to confirm the slander, I guess, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.